to order at 5:34 p.m. All right. Can we get everyone to rise for a moment of silence and close? I thought it was going to be closed session first.
It's okay.
Right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 7, report of action taken from the closed session. For the first item, real property, there's no action taken. Item B, student personnel item 24-25-004. It was unanimous to readmit the student. Item 8, donation from BBMR and Care Big Bear. Mr. Marquez, or who's?
Yes, we're going. Oh, do you want to speak on it? Would you like the donation from BBMR?
Sure, we can. So BBMR and Care Big Bear are going to be donating items like they did last year. Jackets. They're not doing backpacks this year, but jackets, socks, beanies, and gloves. That are,
so they upped it from 25 to 28,000. Supporting understanding, like when we did it last year, the backpacks the jackets went into the backpacks. It was hard to see what was in there, so they're doing it a little bit more like a store this time, so they can go grab the one they need.
Are they doing it at the middle school?
We're doing it at high school,
okay.
just so we have the extra space.
And
Yeah,
that's the other agenda item for the food.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Next item is the public hearing, or the hearing section.
We don't have to accept, motion to accept. We don't have to accept any action.
It's not indicated as a voting. Well, but we think that. And after the event, I'm sure we'll have cool pictures and a
Or
presentation.
are we not accepting them?
Accepting
They're
those.
coming to our site to give it away.
Yeah, it's not coming to us.
It's not coming to us. They're bringing all the
We don't-
items to
we don't want the
Big Bear
tax
High School.
What's
and
the
everything
date
goes to
of
Judy.
that coming?
It's the 30th,
Yeah, September
so
30th.
November 30th, from 5 to
So
7.
it really isn't to us.
Yeah, it's
To the
directly
kids.
to the kids.
Yeah.
Directly to students.
And in perfect timing for when the 6 get cold.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah, it is.
All right, the public hearing section. We will now open the public comment period of our meeting. The president invites anyone wishing to address the governing board on any item that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the governing board to do so at this time. We value your input and welcome your comments. Please keep the following guidelines in mind during this portion of the meeting. First, each speaker will be allotted 3 minutes to speak with a total limitation of 20 minutes per item. Second, please note that under the Brown Act, the board cannot take action on items not on the agenda unless specific conditions are met, such as urgent matters or the need for immediate action. Third, public comments are an opportunity to share your views with the board, not to engage in a debate or question and answer session. Board members will not respond directly to the individual comments during this period, but will carefully consider all input. Fourth, maintain a respectful environment. Please refrain from using offensive or discriminatory language. Personal attacks against individuals, including board members, staff, and members of the public, are prohibited. And finally, these procedures are not designed to restrict public criticism of policies, procedures, programs, or services of the district, or the acts or omissions of the governing board. Legal references Education Code Section 35145 and 72121. We have 2 public comment cards. There's Sarah and Bobby. Is there a preference of who goes first? All right, Bobby, let's go.
I believe today is Constitution Day, and
in regards to that, I was looking at our preamble. And when my kids were in school, in middle school, they had to memorize the preamble. So I was reviewing it today, and we have unalienable rights as children of God, and certainly as citizens. So when we have concerns, we bring them to you, and at this point, you can't respond to anything. We've been talking about the books that we feel shouldn't be in our libraries, but you're not able to respond because it's not an agenda item. And so I continue to ask each of you to think about it, because it should be an agenda item, because the public would like to know, what do our board members think? You know, are they okay with these types of books being in our library? Are they necessary in our libraries? I personally don't think so, because I think kids that have issues today, kids have always had issues. When I was in school, everybody had issues. And some go through worse things than others, but when it comes to books, to me, we shouldn't have anything that really isn't up to snuff as far as morals is concerned, and that's really our Constitution, is moral kind of statement. And so that's why I keep on coming, hoping that at some point it'll be an agenda item, so we could get some feedback from you. To me, it's no different than if I smoke pot at home and I tell the kids, well, the pot is there, but you can't have it. But all the paraphernalia is there, so you can learn how to use it. And that's how these books are. They describe things that are unhealthy, and they're immoral, and to think that it's all in the sphere of, well, some kids may have gone through this, so we have to describe every detail. And maybe it'll help them. We have school counselors, we have good agencies on this mountain that can handle issues if a child is going through trauma. There's problems, we have Department of Children's Services. So that's all I have to say about today. I hope that kids are still memorizing the preamble. I had to memorize, and all my kids had to memorize it, so, and that's all I have to share today. Thank you.
I didn't have to memorize it when I went to school.
You didn't?
But you know
No,
it.
but I did in the military.
Schoolhouse
I have a
Rock.
clarifying question before you go.
Okay.
Bobby,
Bobby, I have a clarifying question. Have you
Yes.
provided Mr. Marquez with a list of the specific books that you have concerns about?
Hearing aids.
Okay. Have you provided Mr. Marquez with a list of the books you have concerns about?
Oh, yes,
Okay,
yes,
thank
and he's investigated all of the books and everything, and he investigated how they got into our libraries. So it isn't that it was part of the curriculum, it's not part of the curriculum.
I just asked you if you
It comes
provided.
in a different way. Yeah, okay.
is it Garden Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah, alright, Sarah, you're up.
Alright, thanks. Well, good evening. My name is Sarah Garden Thomas, and I have two children who attend school at Big Bear. I have a 7th grade and a 9th grader. So I'm here to applaud the district for making our schools a safe and welcoming space for all children to learn regardless of race, religion, ability, and sexual orientation. The strength of the United States lies in the diversity of our people, and public schools play an integral role as a venue where children from all backgrounds learn to exist together. Just as it is important that children are able to learn about the world from their peers, it is also important they are able to gain insight into our multifaceted society from books. It is vital that our school district maintain a library that reflects the diverse viewpoints and experiences of our children, and widens our understanding of humanity throughout our country and the world. Bear Valley Unified School District must not bow to pressure from organizations who want to limit access to knowledge to comply with one specific worldview. This will not give our children the tools they need to understand our complex society, and is antithetical to our American values as stated in the First Amendment to our Constitution. I am also speaking in support
of BBUSD's compliance with AB 5, the Safe and Supportive Schools Act. As we all know, this act requires LGBTQ cultural competency training for teachers and certificated staff who work with children in grades 7 through 12. We know that AB 5 does not mandate any sort of LGBTQ curriculum for students. Its sole aim is to provide training for our teachers. Ensuring that our LGBTQ students feel safe and supported in school is crucial for the well-being of our Big Bear community as a whole. No community can thrive if a segment of its population is mistreated. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Item 10, consent calendar.
I move approval, but I would like to make a comment on two of them.
Okay.
I'll say.
It is item M and N. Okay, I first want to commend our CBO for successfully negotiating the final end of change orders with House. She did a fabulous job, came to a great conclusion, I think a fair conclusion both for Hellas and for us. Okay, and I am thrilled on N to sign the notice of completion. That's it.
Anything else?
What's a bid deficiency?
I can speak to that. So the bid deficiencies, we utilize the CMAS, a CMAS contract, so it's California Multiple Award, I think it's not system, but. Schedule, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason.
So it's essentially a tool for districts it's something that's completely approved and upheld by the state. It's a way for us to complete projects in a much more timely manner. It's quicker than the standard formal bidding process. For some reason, the San Bernardino County Council has ruled at some point that CMAS contracts the labor portion of them should not exceed 10% of the total project. But as anyone knows that has dealt in any kind of construction project, that labor portion will always exceed 10%. So this is kind of the workaround for that. In order for us to use CMAS for any construction project, the caveat is we have to bring a bid deficiency to the governing board, and it essentially acknowledges that the project is the labor exceeds 10%. So it's kind of specific to San Bernardino County. The California state has no issue with this, but it's just what we have to do in order to use CMAS.
So there's someone at the county with a stack of deficiencies that they have to verify to make sure there's nothing hokey going on.
And the CMAS benefit is we do get it cheaper and we do get it quicker.
Yes. Thank you.
And that's only for labor?
Only labor.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Item 12, employee announcements, Mr. Marquez.
Okay, sure, just have one classified staff, an NSES ELL bilingual aide, Esdras Lucero. He is not with us today, but we are thrilled to extend a warm welcome to Esdras, our newest ELL bilingual aide at North Shore Elementary. Esdras recently made the move to our beautiful city, our community from Los Angeles, relocating with his family. We're especially proud to welcome him in as a veteran, bringing him with a wealth of experience and dedication. His commitment to serving others is undoubtedly testament to the asset to our students and staff at North Shore. I had to cover for a principal on this interview. This is a find on this guy. We are extremely lucky to have him. He's ex-military, and he is so. It was just, I had fun interviewing this guy because it was just interesting to talk to. He's looking for his future, to become an educator in his future, so he's looking to start somewhere, and he wants to be able to support through ELL. It's interesting too. He learned to speak through in Iraq, working with the El Salvadorian army. That's where he got strong Spanish skills there. So just a fascinating guy to talk to when you have an opportunity. So I think they're lucky. I think Cynthia's really lucky to have him there.
All right, you're up next.
I'm up next. Okay. Just wanted to give a couple updates on, just a shout out here to Dr. Kroperman and everything she's providing with our ELL program. English Language Learners Unit is one of our greater growing populations. North Shore sitting roughly, I think when last we looked, like at 14%, you know, and some of the schools are less, high school's pretty high as well. But she's really working hard on trying to get the parents involved even at North Shore's ELAC committee meeting. She had like 18 parents there. And it doesn't sound like it, but that's a lot to get parents there to support in the ELAC. She's working hard on DLAC, which is coming up as well. She's just done a fantastic job reaching out to parents and bringing them in. She was even supported with me getting another ELL parent in the superintendent committee, which was great to have them there and their input, and they were wonderful there. She's just done a fantastic job getting that program moving and supporting our students and what they need. And I have asked Jess to go back and making sure we're looking at that. Do we have enough the aids? Because when we look at scores, this is still an area we can improve on with our not just EL population, but Hispanic population as a whole that we need to support a little bit more with. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to her and everybody and all the sites, the site support that they're getting from Amber and Sam and everyone that's been helping with this program. It's really kicking off. As you know, she did a great job with the whole ELL plan that the board approved. She's just done a fantastic job and continues to do so, and we're really seeing some improvements there. Also, we got the opportunity, Leanne and I, CT, keep talking about CT and some of the improvements they're doing there. I got a call from Mr. Leon that they were on one of their field trips that they're trying to do to support students coming to school. And I got a phone call that they were at the driving range. So this is about 20 CT students went to the driving range, an experience they would have probably not normally had. And they were so well behaved and were so amazing. And then they walked up and had lunch at the clubhouse. And it was, Mr. Leon had such a big smile on his face, enjoying the moment, enjoying everything about it, because these students are just far more engaged. And I've known a lot of these students, and I'm watching them even happier than I've seen them in a school environment in a long time. Just excited to be a part of something special, and that's what they're genuinely creating there. The whole team, all the teachers went, everybody was there, the whole staff went together, and it was just wonderful to see their support there. In the end, and I managed to be able to experience that with them, and it was pretty wonderful.
So recruiting for his golf team?
Probably. But they did great. The kids enjoyed it, talking about who got further. Swearing, they got 250 yards. Swearing, usually up to but you know what, doesn't matter. They got to celebrate either way. And we had a site visit with the whole instructional leadership team at Baldwin. It looked really well. Chrissy's doing a great job there. We were able to walk through the classrooms. They have a new SPED class there that we put into place with Tatiana, with some of our more challenging students, and everything. Chrissy's doing a great job there as well. It was really nice to walk through and see. It had a great energy, and we all made the conversations after on how do we support teachers and some of our newer teachers. What could we do to support them to make sure they're receiving everything? So it was just that was a great visit overall as well.
When I was in high school, I worked at the golf course. It was before it was owned by the mountain. I had to drive the cart at the driving range picking up the balls, and it was kind of like armored. Every time it would hit, jump.
They gave you for it. Yeah.
They should have had you do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good job for you.
While they were
doing it. Exactly.
All right. Item B, governing board member reports. Sarah? Mr. Zamora?
I was able to attend the 9/11 ceremony, and then afterwards jumped over to North Shore, do a tour of North Shore with Dr. Britt and Mr. Marquez. And Dr. Britt really seems like she's in the swing of things over there. She's real happy, staff seems happy, everything's running well. She particularly pointed out, I'm gonna kick myself now, her 2 office staff in particular, who
Yes,
I put you on the spot because once I
now I
forget,
went blank and you made me go blank.
she was just saying how wonderful the office
Danielle
staff is.
McClintock,
there
and
you go.
Jaylee.
Say it again.
Danielle and Jaylee.
Have done an amazing job, especially as Jaylee, who's the first
The
year,
registrar.
took over
Yes,
for.
it's technically her second. She came in late last year.
It's such a big job, being at the front desk at those schools. I have a lot of memories for the years I was at North Shore, walking in and seeing all the stuff that they have to do. And with the new principal and newer office staff, she said that they have done an incredible job. So
Yeah, that was a fun visit as well. just the energy there was great. I said, no, I'm not getting no complaints, and sometimes as a superintendent, you know, not everyone always talks about the wonderful things, but when there's no, you hear crickets sometimes coming out of it, that's because everything's wonderful.
Yeah, the resource room, that I mentioned before, the resource room that they had there was pretty eye-opening to me, that there's a space where kids can calm down, that need to calm down, supervised when things go wrong, and that it gets used probably more often than you wish it would, but in this day and age, that's the case, that, you know, having that room is really important for kids that are having a rough day.
Ms. Martin? Mr. Ford?
Yeah, I also went to the 9/11 ceremony, and it was really good. I mean, we've got some good singers again at the high school, which I thought was interesting. But it was put on by the Friends of Big Bear High School, and I thought in the past it was POTUS. Did Club POTUS disband, or do we still have that club at the high school?
I don't know if POTUS, what happened to POTUS or why it switched over to that.
Okay, but it was
I'm
great.
not
I
sure.
mean, they did a great job.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
Yeah, Austin Cheek did a good job. He looked like the leader up there. He was kind of like their MC.
Yeah.
They kept coming up. He did a great job with it.
And the only other thing is, have we stopped doing one-on-ones
What do you mean?
with you?
One-on-one.
Oh, one-on-one. No, those could still be scheduled. I feel like sometimes we talk so much all the time.
Yeah,
Well, I
I just call
mean,
them.
I mean, my point is, Jack and I do agenda reviews, which sometimes morph into other things because we're with you, but I don't know about the rest of the board, whether you're having an opportunity to meet with this.
Yeah, and we could still schedule those.
I think you should.
Okay.
That's it, Mark.
A couple things, but first, my family, we have a lot of exposure to other school district kids with the race team, and then also on the Redlands Youth Symphony. And one thing that's starkly different in Big Bear is our schedule, our annual schedule. Sometimes in a good way, but sometimes in a bad way. Starting August 1st, moving here, I grew up here, but moving back here, it was weird, because when I was in high school, we started right after Labor Day. Starting August 1st creates its own problems, one of which is it's a lot hotter. So the thought of needing air conditioning, well, maybe we don't start so early. But also, starting that early drives the need for an October break. If we started in September, maybe we wouldn't need an October break. You go to Thanksgiving, then to Christmas, or winter break. So I know it's gonna become a discussion point in the future, and I'd really like to consider maybe getting back to a more traditional schedule like I had at Big Bear High School, and I don't know if it was that way with Jess, because I know after I graduated, there was different tries of like the track system that was almost year
So when you were in
round.
high school here, they had that schedule where you were in.
You started after Labor Day.
Except
Yeah.
October is the best time to travel.
It's a great, it's a
Sorry.
terrific time to travel, I love it, but I can afford to travel and most people can't in our district.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
um,
It's a good point, thank you.
And that.
and the same thing with the 3-week, winter break, you've got, I'm in a position where we can travel, we can go to a ski race or whatever, a lot of families, most families can't.
You can't,
and-
especially after Christmas.
Right, and then you get into the same thing with a 2-week spring break, which is not standard as well.
Due to the fact that so many kids have jobs up there.
That would impact the high school kids only,
Yeah.
and they only hire 16 and older, so then you're talking 11th and
Oh.
12th graders.
You're gonna start
So-
narrowing down
Yeah.
who it actually is.
So it could
So that's not
potentially
great.
impact 300 kids out of 2,000. So, anyway, I just think as we talk about things in the future, the schedule, we talk about the staff being able to do improvements on the sites, and it's a lot more difficult with the shorter break, which Jess knows it's hard to cram things in. That and when the kids start August 1st, it's hot. And the kids come out of school and, you know, it's time for a shower, otherwise it smell like hamburgers, you know?
I like hamburgers. I don't think it's hamburgers, you're thinking.
Yeah,
That is a lot of conversation. In fact, I was just at North Shore before I came here. I was at North Shore School State Council, and one of them brought up that because we're having a lot of calendar discussions because that will be coming before the board for the next school year, and there is a significant change on there. But one of the parents was asking about that, going, a lot of schools start mid-August. You know, most schools start either the second week of
You
August.
start early in any school I know of.
Yes, and that really needs to start, we need to start looking at that seriously, because the calendar is a negotiated item with the unions. So
how
looking
did that come to be? Cause that
So,
doesn't make sense.
actually it helped more.
The school was overcrowded here, they had built Baldwin Lane, so they were on a track system, there were 4 tracks, which was awful, because you'd have parents who had multiple children, and they couldn't fit them for logistical reasons on the same track, so there'd be some kids on break in the family, when other kids didn't have break. But they did like the fact that they had these bigger chunks of time off throughout the year, so that when, after they built Baldwin Lane and they came back, the feeling was, let's keep some of the elements of some of the tracks, so they'd have a modified year-round schedule, which is what we have now, where you don't have even number of quarters, but an even number of breaks. You have, you know, a longer break in the summer so kids can work, longer break in the winter, because again, we're talking early 90s where kids can play in the snow and have their winter jobs, and then short October and spring break.
I always thought it would have been nicer to have had more time off in the summertime and less time off in the wintertime, so that kids can be outside. Not everybody skis and snowboards and wants to play in the snow, so I always thought it would have been really nice to have had that more time in the summer, because this is the most beautiful place to be in the summer.
And that's pretty much what's coming towards the board for the
Yeah,
next. for the
And I
next
think
school
you have to have
I
pros and
personally
cons.
prefer the winter time off, because,
Right.
The
because you're-
ski
yeah,
racing
kids,
and
that's
stuff.
I understand.
but it's kind of crazy that we're coming in early
Yeah.
and in the hottest time of the year in
Right.
Big Bear,
Right.
and that's causing an
It's an
issue.
Yeah. it's an issue.
It doesn't need to be that way. If we reduce that early start, then you don't need that break so early, and then you can shorten on both ends to get out of the heat and to make it easier for families to plan, and families that don't have the resources to do big great things on these breaks that aren't normal.
So we're getting that.
That'll be coming, we're looking at putting that before the board as far as the new calendar for the October 1st board meeting, as far as the approval for the 26th.
That means they've been meeting for a while now.
We've been talking, that's already been talked, it should have gone to the board already, so we paused for a minute because there's some changes, there's other changes that are coming with that, which I'll explain in the Friday notes. In the weekly notes that are coming, as far as some other changes that as a cabinet, I've gone out to the district and, all the stakeholders as far as the teachers and classified unions, the teachers and classified, having discussions, had the discussion today at the council meeting about what we're looking at the calendar, and we're looking at going to late starts instead of early outs. Okay, and also going back to our regular time, but I wasn't prepared to talk about this, we're having a conversation, nothing wrong with it. Going back to our original time before we started later. Because we did that
Yeah,
because
probably, this is not agendized.
No.
that's just it.
He can
That's
say
why
it, but we
I'm
can't
asking the
discuss
question.
it.
Yeah.
We can't discuss it, so I can say, but it is that we're looking at this discussion of putting before the board that we go back to our other times that we had where the kids went to school earlier, the high school went to school earlier, because it has not exactly proven to be effective. And we're having Baldwin Lane kids going home near dark by the time some kindergartners and first graders, right, because of the time they get out of school, they're going home in the dark, and it just has not been, we've done it for a few years now, and it has not been, and everyone's asking for that to go back as far as the staff is concerned. Everyone's asking to go back to the old schedule, because then on the other end of high school, you have high school getting out later, meaning like they're missing more academic time for the kids that play sports, and when they gotta travel, they're missing more school because school's going later in the day. Anyway, we'll have a greater discussion on this when it comes before the board on the next board meeting.
Thank you.
And my point is our calendar's out of whack, and it causes problems, like, for summer programs. Like whether it's kids going to Arrow Bear Music Camp or,
A parent just told me that today and I didn't realize that.
yeah, so I know my kids are in strings, so there's at least half a dozen kids that went to Arrow Bear and they started school late. Because that's when the time
Summer
is.
programs are
It's-
still happening in
Right.
August.
And the summer semester for college classes, like last summer, my kids did a chemistry class that at the end of senior year and freshman year or sophomore year at Crafton Hills. Well, they had to bail out of the last 2 weeks of high school and arrange their finals because their college class started. So starting or ending later than what's normal and starting so early. And you know, another year my kids were in a Korean immersion program and they missed the first 2 weeks of school. So
Looking forward to seeing the pros and cons list.
yeah.
Yeah. We've had a lot of discussion about this in cabinet, but like you said, that one, that's why I love talking to different stakeholders, because things are brought up like that, and I don't have kids right now, and I didn't send my kids to camp, but like I said, that parent told me today, I couldn't put my kid in a program he really likes for summer, because it was in August, beginning of August.
Or the families will make the decision and it'll impact our funding. So, alright. That was a pretty long board member. Alright, administrative report, first reading and adoption of governing board policy updates.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
I gotta say,
Okay.
I wish the state legislature would get out of our face.
So-
I mean, there are so many new laws that are requiring us to do ours.
So I want to clarify, these policies, the policies, not the laws are the laws, but the policies are coming from CSBA, right?
Yes,
So
The
CSBA
They
recommended apology, they come from, a lot of them originate from laws, and then get addressed. Have we amended any of those, or I mean, in this bunch? Because I saw some that were particularly, like things we've discussed recently. So have we gone in and amended them, or have we just taken them and put them in like we normally do?
we go in and we amend some of the language, so what basically the process goes is Ms. Welch brings them to us, brings in whose responsibility for what, whether it falls under Mr. Williams' scope, or, Mr. Drake or me, or it falls under Laura or Jess, whatever it falls under, we look at them and say, do we wanna make these changes? Are these changes actually changes we have to make, or is this not something that we feel like is necessary to make those changes? Because you have to remember, CSBA advice does not mean we have to do, because there's been a couple that were like, we're not putting that before our board.
I don't want to be a pain, but I love all the cross outs, you save a lot of time. But if you could put a different font or a different color on the stuff that you changed, that would be great to see what the original was. I mean, you can't change that much, you're not in there for hours changing
That does
policies.
take a lot of time, I will tell you.
It takes time to go through, but as far as if you're changing it, you can change it, then
Some of those changes they ask for though are so
I know,
monotonous
mine is,
and mind numbing,
Yeah.
it's like, all they did is move it from this section
So,
to this section,
for
technically it's
instance,
change.
I'm curious, used to be the biggest thing when I was a teacher, kids bad keeping from recess. Policy, that one of these policies says you can no longer keep a child in for recess unless he's out there damaged, okay. So that's something that we didn't change, that is something, okay. So it'd be kinda cool to know like which
That's
ones
something
you
that's
changed.
required.
And functionally, it's easy to do that, like in Word, if you track changes, that first change from CSBA would be one color, then you have another person do a change that would be our change, and that's another color.
Just whatever the change is, you put it in blue. It's as simple as going blue.
If we're making a decision that's not on the recommended change, it's usually we're withholding from adding their change.
Okay,
It's usually if it's something, a decision that we're making based on it, like,
It doesn't fit for us.
right, it's usually it's
Right.
not a good fit for our district, so we're not going ahead with that change.
Right.
So sometimes it's an omission of the change.
right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if they have something, I'd be curious if they're, the difference. But I can see some of it's like minutia.
I looked at that research one and went, really?
That's
They
painful,
were- The other thing too,
it's painful.
since we're on it, that same policy, they said that you can't seclude students. Now, does that mean lock them in a closet
Yes.
and tape it, or does that mean you can no longer put a kid in the corner of the
I
classroom?
can't put them in a corner.
Okay. Does teachers all know this?
Yes.
I've known business a while. So this has been around how long?
Quite a while, seclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Hello.
can't put them in a drawer in a room and say
Hello.
they shouldn't be there, or lock them.
To be fair.
To be fair.
It's like corporal
But I
punishment
can
when
do
I
it
was
at
a
home.
kid.
Yes, there's no law to do that, but no, you may not do that in the classroom.
I must say, I didn't realize there were so many things that required unanimous votes, and, I mean, I don't know if we've ever done that.
I noticed that too.
Okay, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Alright, personnel report, certificated public hearing, public comment on resolution 2526-004. Wanna say anything?
Oh, I was probably said public comment, so
That's public hearing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
public hearing,
you
public
want to explain that,
comment.
Mr. Williams?
Yeah, we have two public hearing, public comments, that's effectively the same thing, just kind of different arenas. One's focused on the electives, one's focused on our freshman studies course. We have teachers across the district that are teaching classes that are technically outside of their credentialed area, but for the most part, that's because there is no credential, for, say, yearbook or
Yes.
whatever.
One more mistake.
Yeah.
So why do we have to do this?
So,
If no such credential exists.
Good question. So every year, we get audited on whether we have highly qualified teachers in the classroom. And the state goes through every single, particularly at the secondary level, every single section, every single teacher, and ensuring it matches. If it doesn't match, then we have the option of doing what's called a local assignment option, where the teacher signs off and says, yeah, I know I don't have a credential in this. And then we put those forward and get board approved.
That still doesn't make sense, that if there's no such credential, then why?
Because it's the state of
You're
California.
trying to ask a reasonable
Okay,
question.
But what if,
Can't answer your reasonable question.
okay, but what if we don't?
So if we don't, then each one of those classes that we don't do this local assignment option for counts as a misassignment. And then that shows up on the California dashboard showing that our teachers are less qualified than they actually are. Because our percentage of misassignments and underqualified teachers won't be accurate on the
No,
dashboard.
Jack, you're welcome to go to Board Member Action Day in Sacramento. Once a year they.
I wish I could fix it and get it
So
simpler,
we
but I
could
can't with the
change
tools I have.
that you can't withhold recesses, but we can't change this. Got it.
I wish I had a better answer.
Alright,
really do.
Item G.
Jack, come on, okay? This is the
Jack.
state legislature.
Yeah, but it's like the bid deficiency.
I am
same
gonna
thing,
withhold
yeah.
your recess.
I'm gonna withhold Dr.
Yeah.
Folks' recess.
Resolution number 2526-004, teacher, for teacher consent for education code.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed.
You're opposed?
I said none.
Unopposed.
I do that for the benefit of Laura, so she. Alright, public hearing on resolution 2526-05, as Mr. Williams indicated, it was substantially the same thing. Any comment? No? Alright, item D,
Approval?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.